Preparing.
Got it.
Woohoo. Setting it up. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Show 31.
31. What's up?
Yes, dude.
I remember being 31. That was nice.
I am 31, dude. I used to be 40. I used to be 41. I just switched to 31. Look out.
Sweet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've started reversing my age. I'm 25 now, so it's all good.
It's all good in the hood. So we got a great show for the audience today. For us, we got the one and only Tami Erin coming on, the OG Pippi Longstocking from the 1989 movie, The New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking. So we got a national treasure coming on today, and I'm a bit excited.
That movie came out when I was when I graduated from high school.
Damn. Oh, damn. So I do see they're coming in. So we told them they'll be here at 1:15. So all gravy in the hood. How has your week been, Chad? Anything exciting or anything going on?
Oh, we had Easter, and that was nice. And I had my kids. And,
sweet.
You know, the Easter Bunny came. The girls are 10, so they're still like. I think my little London is like onto it, but she still plays along. But anyway, so the Easter Bunny came to the house. There was an egg hunt, some baskets they had to find. You know.
I love
good stuff. But yeah, it's fine. And other than, you know, our lovely president coming out and trashing fucking Easter with not that trans visibility day is the worst thing in the world, but like to make a proclamation. And apparently, I guess the left's going crazy that it's always been that day, March 31st.
Oh.
Always. Well, I guess Obama started it in 2009, but I digress. My point is, you don't have to make a fucking proclamation on Easter about it from the White House.
Right.
Because that is a direct attack on Christianity, as this White House has been doing the whole fucking time. They raid Catholic dioceses. They fucking take in, where's that one Catholic, or was it one Christian guy that a preacher who protested an abortion clinic, and then they sent armed FBI agents to his house in full riot gear to arrest him in front of his kids. They pulled him out of his house because he led prayer in front of an abortion clinic. Yeah, that sounds like a FBI involvement. We need that.
Yeah,
but but don't worry. CNN says there's no actual, attempt to degrade Christianity in this country. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, they said it. It must be true.
But then the Easter egg, the annual and traditional Easter egg hunt at the White House, they were not allowed to put any religious imagery on the eggs. So, yeah, it's okay.
Well,
it's all good. I'm not even religious. I mean, I'm not religious. Believe in God, believe in Jesus, but I'm not religious. But it's what's happening to Christians is fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of them are radical, and I don't deal with that side. I don't like that side of, kill the gays because they're not in the Bible. Like, I don't like that shit. I'm not about that. But on the other hand, you should be free to, be religious and go to church and be a Christian and all that good stuff. But you shouldn't have the president of the United States trashing Easter.
Right. Well, let's not say it's not just an attack on the Christians and their holidays. I mean, this has been an American holiday forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, majority of America, whether they were Christian or not. I mean, when I went to school, everybody who was there, whether they were Muslim, Jewish, Christian, they were all celebrating Easter. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it's an American holiday is how it was always looked at. So to come up with that name for that day on Easter is just absurd. And it shows that he doesn't know the temperature of the world, let alone America.
So, I don't think he cares.
Right.
He's probably not even fucking aware of what's going on. I mean, all the far lefties in his cabinet and in his administration are like, yeah, we got to push Trans Visibility Day on Easter. Great. Yeah, let's make a proclamation about it. It's like, as I always say, trans are great. Do your thing. All good. But this shoving it down our throats constantly is getting fucking old. Okay? We
Right.
see you. You are visible. We see you. We know you. We respect you. You can do your thing, but stop shoving it down our throats, trying to break into our fucking bathrooms and fucking, into our sports and all this bullshit that you're trying to do. Just be you
Right.
and stop with this bullshit because everyone's getting sick of it. You're
Absolutely.
you're you're doing the reverse of what you want to do. You don't want trans rights. You want special privileges now.
Right. And
Period.
stop trying to force pronouns down our face that don't
Yeah.
make sense. It's like you can't change what language is and what it was and what it is for. I mean, a biological male is a he. If you then go and take hormones and shave and you now have tits, long hair, no dick, then you're a she. But you cannot make me call a guy that looks like a guy a she. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that. You can't make me call a girl that looks like a girl a he. That's not how it works. We have all these terms for a reason. I'll call
Right.
it what you are, a trans person. If you want to make a new pronoun for yourself, by all means do it. But we have pronouns set for a reason.
Yes.
Going to start confusing everybody.
But then on the political side of this, on the lefty side of this, if I heard someone in an interview talking about this, about if they can make you believe that basic truths aren't true anymore, like men are men and women are women and that biological sex is a real thing and that's
Right.
all. If they can make you believe that that's not true, what else will they make you believe it's not true? And they do it all the time. It's all propaganda.
And again, I don't
And
know.
they hijack the trans people to do that. They use them for it.
Right. Well, and you know why? I mean, a lot of these, not all, but a lot of them have these feelings. Like, let's just say you're a biologically born male and you feel like you should have been born female. You don't know what a female feels like. You only know what your inside feels like. Maybe you're a male that likes to explore his feminine side and throw on dresses and stuff like that, and have long hair and be very feminine. Maybe you want to date dudes as a guy, but when you want to start chopping off your dick and literally changing what God put you on this planet for, there's something disconnected up here, and it's more of a mental illness than anything. So
Right.
it's like, get that help that you need before you go and do this. And then if at that point you still want it, then maybe you don't have mental illness and this is what you want. But
Right.
it's like you cannot kowtail to less than 1% of the population who's probably not well upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Right. And the actual percentage of the population that actually feel that way is very minuscule. But what they're doing is they're propagandizing and and turning these kids that feel like maybe they're gay, maybe that
Right.
they don't, maybe they do feel like a girl or not, but like they're getting hold of them and they're feeding the propaganda to them
Right.
and they're making them go and try to transition. And it's like what I think we're gonna have like a whole generation of like no gay guys because they all been told that they're girls and now they've tried to transition into women. It's like
Right.
cut their, it's just like stupid. Like some people, like I said, there's a very small amount of people that actually feel like they're not in the right body. That's a very small amount. But what they're doing is they're taking these kids that say, "Oh, you like boys? Well, you must be a girl, you know,
Well, Chad,
or you're a girl and you feel you're a tomboy. Oh, you're a boy. You got to be a boy now. Go take hormones and be a boy." It's like, what? No, they grow out of it,
right.
and then they're permanently altered for their whole adult life, and they can't reproduce, and they're fucked.
So, Chad,
I mean, what you're gonna have is a whole lot of people that are gonna wake up when they become adults and go, "What the fuck did these people do to me?"
and allow me to do to myself at such a young age. But here's my question, Chad. So how far does that go? Because like I said earlier, if you're born biologically a male and you want to get in touch with your feminine side and you feel you're a female, you don't know what a female feels like. So those thoughts in your head are just
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? So, but how far can they allow this to go? So if I feel like I'm a 41-year-old Asian male, can I just say that now and proclaim that?
Well, I think there's a guy in Canada that he identifies as a 12, he's a 51-year-old man that identifies as a 12-year-old girl, and they're letting him in the locker room with fucking girls to play sports with them.
Wow.
That's how far it's going.
Wow.
That ridiculousness. That's fucking crazy.
That is absurd.
I mean, where are the dads? Where are the fucking dads?
Right.
Well, they're in Canada, so Trudeau has them all fucking by the balls.
Dude, the fact that anybody could think that's okay is crazy. It doesn't compute in my.
If that was happening in my kid's fucking locker room, nope, we'd have problems. We're gonna have fucking problems.
Big fucking problems. If that was happening, anywhere that I knew locally, I would be there fucking, protesting, ripping people out. Like, you cannot allow predators and weirdos to identify this way and then be able to be around younger, vulnerable people that aren't, prepared for a fucking crazy ass motherfucker like that. Like, they're
oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, all good. It's just they're allowing so much stuff to, like they're encouraging people to steal by making it, if you steal under $1,000, you don't get arrested. They're encouraging these fucking weirdos to proclaim that they feel like this so they could go and prey on these other people. Like, they're encouraging all this bad behavior. And
for sure.
What?
Well, they're trying to create a lawless society so that they can then come in and save the day and fucking, and then bring in whatever fucking authoritarian rule they want to bring in and say, look, we saved you from all the crime, but now you have to abide by all these fucking rules and you have no freedoms.
Yeah.
Go get in the camp with everybody else, you fucking jackasses.
Right. And you jackasses allowed that to happen while we're sitting here trying to say, come on, wake up before that happens. Like, that's the point of why we talk about these things. It's not because it's like, it's we want it our way or no way. We want it the way that it's been and working. And then, of course, change things that don't. But you cannot change things and make them worse and ruin society because you're trying to be inclusive or using inclusiveness as an excuse, which is what they're doing.
Well, they're not trying to be inclusive. They say they are.
Right. Right.
I just saw an interview with Robert Kennedy Jr.
Love that man. Love him.
On CNN. And the CNN host, of course, is, well, Trump will destroy democracy if he gets in office, and she wants him to disavow Trump. And Robert Kennedy's like, no, I think that what the Biden regime is currently doing is destroying our democracy. They have weaponized every fucking alphabet agency against their political opponents that they can. And for the first time in history, a political opponent was not offered Secret Service protection by the White House. That was Biden. Right. Trump never did that. Did Trump do that to Biden? No. I don't think so. Did Trump weaponize the fucking DOJ and the CIA and the FBI against political opponents?
Nope.
And then they always, and then she falls back to, well, January 6th and the insurrection. It's like, stop with your bullshit.
Right.
It's fucking fake. People, I mean, if that was an insurrection, people would have showed up fucking armed and ready to go.
Right.
That was a peaceful protest that was egged on. You watch the videos where they start shooting those people with bullets, and then they start opening the doors and they get them all riled up, and then they got the FBI people in the fucking crowd going, let's storm the Capitol. It's like, great.
It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. And, like I said, Trump wanted to put 20,000 National Guard around the fucking Capitol just to keep everything safe. That was denied by Mayor Bowser and fucking Pelosi. We all know that. And guess what color they are? They're fucking blue all day long.
Yep.
All fucking set up to bring us to where we are. Trump's an insurrectionist. Let's do the 14th Amendment against him, which is not working. None of their shit works. When are they going to figure this out? Just stop. Stop with your lawfare. Stop with your bullshit. Stop. Just let him run. Let people vote and let the American people decide who they want to fucking have be their president.
Yes, Chad.
Period.
Well said. Remind me after we let our guest on that I got a quick thing about Hunter Biden that I want to bring up, after we get our guest on.
There's so many things about Hunter Biden to talk about.
Yes. I'm going to let in the one and only Miss Tami Erin. She's on her partner's page. So if it says Tommy Parker, he'll be on the show later. But ladies, there they are.
Hey, hello.
Hey, we're here.
Hi.
Sweet.
Tami Erin, pleasure to have you guys on. We are excited. I just want to let the audience know this is the one and only Tami Erin who played in Pippi Longstocking, The New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, the best Pippi Longstocking. How
Thank you.
are you? Yes.
He's America's Pippi Longstocking.
That's right, exactly. We like
That's
that.
it, Tommy.
Great. Great. Happy to be here.
We're
Awesome.
happy to have you on. Welcome to the Gracious 2. I'm John. That is Chad. And we got a lot to ask you, Tami, because you really have become a national treasure by getting that role so young. And not only did you do an amazing job in the movie, but I got to see some of the press tours you had to do while promoting it at such a young age. And you handled it so well. So I kind of wanted to ask you about that. Did you feel the pressure of all that was going on back then, or were you just kind of in the moment?
I was definitely in the moment during the world tour. It was great. And I think that I was prepared for it because I was made aware that I was carrying $5 million on my shoulders before we began filming the movie. So by the time we were done filming and all the work that went into that, my own stunts and the soundtrack and the looping and all that. I was ready to just bust through the doors.
I bet.
That's great. And how old were you when you did the movie?
When I filmed the movie, I was 12 and 13. When we did the world tour, I was 14 and 15.
Got it. And how was the audition process? And did you have to go back multiple times? And how'd that go?
So before that, I had been an elite model doing national commercials and modeling campaigns for 3 years. Then I had my first audition in Orlando for Garrison True, who also discovered Aileen Quinn for Annie. He's the casting director. Yep.
Wow.
So, no, I was really excited. It was my first movie audition, and I hadn't had any acting training formally, but I was booking commercials left and right. So it was great. After I did my first reading for Garrison, he immediately called the director, Kenny Anakin, and said, I think we found her.
It sounds like Garrison specializes in redheads.
It is, musicals. Yeah,
What was there? So they had to be. Was it like a cattle call kind of audition? Did you see all the other people that were there? It had to be like tons of, I guess, redheads, right?
Well, yeah. So they auditioned girls all over the world. They auditioned over 8,000 total.
Wow.
And so for that audition in Orlando, it was a big cattle call. And when I got there, I saw all these other kids and I thought, okay, so this is going to be a while that I'm going to be waiting. But Garrison came out and actually looked for me because I had signed in, and he said, you're Tami. I said, yeah. You guys come with me. And I thought, oh, wow, I get to go before everyone else. Okay.
She's also in the Trivial Pursuit Millennial Edition as what girl beat out over 8,000 girls as a world record for an audition for a film. And the answer is
wow.
And Trivial Pursuit.
Very cool.
That's an amazing feat. Did you know how big of because I know you probably saw some of the people there in the cattle call, but did you know there was like 7,999 girls behind you auditioning for that?
No. And I knew that they were doing a big casting search, and I knew that he was in London. I found out about that before I had my audition. So, I knew he was seeing a lot of girls, but I wasn't nervous about it either. It was kind of one of those things where I'd really love to do this. And I had read the book when I was younger in the library. But yeah, I got a call back and then another call back and then a screen test where they flew me to Los Angeles. Then there was a final screen test, and it was the last three of us, which was Jenny Lewis, Faye Masterson, and me.
Wow. And good for you for getting that role, because I couldn't imagine anybody else getting that. Like, I don't know if it's because I just saw you in it and fell in love with the movie, but you nailed the character down and your acting was on point. So for somebody who was coming from like a modeling background and a little commercial work to transition into that feature film at, what'd you say, 12?
When we filmed, I was 12 and then 13.
Yeah, that's amazing. God bless you for that.
Thank you. There's just so many similarities, and I think that's how it kind of came together. Ken Anakin said, I don't want Tami to become Pippi. I want Pippi to be Tami.
Nailed it. And that was a
Very cool.
great way for him to do that too, because I mean, that's who when you hear Pippi Longstocking, that's the little girl you see. I don't see the Pippi movie before, or the show before, the books. I mean, like, I see you as that little girl. So you got it. That was great for him to say it that way. I also got to check. So you did a bunch of stuff after that. You took some time off. And now I see you're like giving back to the fans and stuff by going to all these cons and taking pictures and meeting them and autographing and stuff like that. So how's that been going?
It's going awesome. I have so much fun with them. And I get everything from people coming up and like, this is my childhood. And they'll start singing this song and telling me all these stories. People tell me about them being inspired by the movie, inspired to try something new or to be brave. I have also particularly women that come up and they start really quiet and then they start to get emotional. Yeah. And it is so sweet. And I hear,
my older cousin, so she's like 2 years older than me. I let her know that you were coming on, and she loved the movie a lot more than I did, but she was like infatuated with it, probably watched it over 100 times. So she's watching now out there, and I'm sure is extremely excited. So next time you're in Chicago area at one of these cons, she's going to come out and check it out and come and meet you. So
awesome. Yeah, it's so sweet. It's really fun. And I play the movie at my booth. I've got a ton of different variety of merch for them, the shirts and all the stuff they can also buy on my tablet. But
she's gonna be in Rochester, New York. Sister, are you up? You're north, right?
Chicago.
Yeah, so I'm in Jersey right now. I think Chad's on the West Coast today.
Okay, so I know she's gonna be in New York, in Rochester, soon in May. In May? In May, yeah.
Well, we'll definitely, let's promote that day. But Rochester is like 7 hours from me. It's like close to Canada. Yeah.
Well, so if your sister was nearby, I was going to say she could come out that time, because that's the closest I think we're going to be at that point.
She's in Chicago.
She's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Tommy, does she have a mic and you don't? Because I hear her, but you're like coming in kind of.
Here, is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
To her booth.
All right.
No, yeah, it sounds good. So yeah, there's a bunch we got to get to. So that's coming up in May, you said, the Rochester event?
Yeah, so everything, all of my links for all my appearances are on TamiErin.com.
And that one, Rochester, is in May. And then I've got some other ones dotted in there like June. And then July is Niagara Falls, which I'm thrilled about because I've been all over the country. I've not been to Niagara Falls yet. Nice. And then I've got another one in upstate New York in September. But the thing I'm super excited about this summer is Retromania Live in Branson, Missouri. I'm going to be there with Bobby Brown, Vince Neil, Casey and the Sunshine Band. Let's see, Tiffany, Starship.
Wow.
Quiet Riot.
Nice.
Tom Kiefer Baum of Cinderella. Who else?
Jesus Jones,
Pauly Shore, and me.
And Pauly Shore. Nice. That's awesome.
and Andy Dick will be there as well.
Oh boy. Oh shit. Watch out. Yeah, Tom, you better stay around her with Andy Dick there. Watch out.
So I've known Andy Dick. I talk to him on a daily basis.
Okay, good.
He's so infatuated with Tami on so many levels. He's like, we got to do all these projects together, and but he's gonna be there as well. Yeah,
that's awesome,
dude. Tami, Pauly Shore, and Andy Dick. That's a cool trio right there, man. Pauly Shore coming back in a big way. He's got comedy career coming back, and he's got this new podcast out where he has a bunch of cool people on that I've been checking out clips of. So I'm glad all these people that we grew up with kind of took a break are now coming back and starting to get out there again, because again, you guys have done so much work and stuff like that. The people, of course, want to meet you guys and hear what's going on today. So I'm glad you guys are all doing this. That was
the 80s and 90s was like literally the best era of all music, film, sports, and literally every thing you can think of across the board. The 80s and 90s owned and dominated everything, and everybody tries to replicate what we did as a Gen Xer and all this stuff, and what we got to grow up with. Because now everything's kind of a lot of crap.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, my friend.
Yeah,
right there with you.
we're 80s and 90s all day long. Yeah. We live it.
Absolutely.
You can't go wrong with that. So for the audience out there, if you didn't catch what Tami Erin had said about the sites and stuff like that, their links are posted already in our description, so you can go down there and see it. And Tommy, we got your site up there too, which we're going to get to in a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah.
It will be changing because Tommy and I spoke about it, but as of now, this will be the site. If you want to go there, check it out, and then we're going to get into that in a little bit because they got some cool events coming up. But Tami, what was the event you called that was with all those guests? Rockmania?
Retromania Live in Branson, Missouri.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
there we go.
I know it's there.
Oh, the coolness.
Lou Graham. There's and Jesus Jones.
And
Jesus Jones. Wow.
It's
right there.
Yeah. So it's August 21st through the 25th in Branson, Missouri. And there's going to be all these concerts and performances with Retromania Live. There's going to be a movie screening for me as well as the meet and greets. And then they get to take in all of the things in Branson, which is like Silver Dollar City, which is like Disneyland.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, all the other attractions.
Yeah, if anybody's ever been to Branson, it's like full of like tons of attractions, zip lining, theme parks, and musicals and shows and concerts. It's like Branson's like kind of it's its own unique town across the country.
Yeah, I've never been there. I've always wanted to go there and check it out. Isn't Dollywood there or something? Isn't that?
No, I think she's in
Kentucky, Louisiana, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I thought she was around there.
I think it's but it's the kind of like it's a similar idea. Silver Dollar City is very much like Dollywood.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have a Grand Ole Opry.
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a Grand Ole Opry. Nice.
They
cool.
do. Yeah.
Bobby,
Branson's pretty cool. You'd have to definitely go visit.
Bobby's gonna pull up your site right now and share it so I could get to your Instagram and actually show that flyer.
Thank you.
In a good way so everybody could see it. So Bobby, if you scroll down and just click her Instagram, it was right there actually. It showed the little link above contact Tami Eerin's. Yeah, right there. You see the Instagram, the photo thing? To the left.
That's YouTube. There we go. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Bobby.
So this is the flyer, guys, for Retromania, so you guys could see it firsthand. And then if you scroll down a little bit, Bob, you could see it's not too far down. Yeah, right there. The picture to the left.
Yep.
All the way to the left. There you go. The Bobby Brown, it says Quiet Riot. So Pauly Shore, a bunch of different actors, actresses, musicians. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
This is our one and only Bobby. Oh, no.
Oh, Bobby.
Gatekeepers. They got gatekeepers there.
Well, anyway, we're going to send them there anyway. So go to Tami Erin Official Pippi on Instagram, and you could see that that nice poster that they got on there, and you could see it, up close and personal. So you guys probably never watched this show, but this happens very weekly. We got to share stuff, and
that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah,
it's like a running joke,
right?
I'm moving it though, the Retromania, I'm moving that to the top of my link tree today. So it will be right up there at the top.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's got retromanialive.com and everything's on there, retromanialive.com as well.
Yeah. So Tami Erin, what was it?
Her Instagram?
I know that's Tami Erin Official Pippi, but the website, I think it was TamiErin.com, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, that brings you to her link tree. She's going to have that posted up top. Again, those links are in the comments if you want to go there now while you're listening. But, Tommy, talk to us about what you got coming up on this. And we're not done with you, Miss Tami Erin. I just want to talk.
He's part of all this. So,
yeah.
So we have a celebrity boxing event. It will later be called Celebrity Boxing TV. It's inspired by my friend Damon Feldman, who's the creator, basically 20 years ago, of celebrity boxing. And, he did the Todd Bridges of Vanilla Ice. He started back then with that. Then Danny Bonaducci, Joey Buttafuoco, Lamar Odom, Eric Carter, Black China, like every legend you could think of, he's got in the celebrity box he did. And I've been friends with Damon for about 10 years, and I've been inspired. I'm like, I want to do this. And then when I started booking her Comic-Cons and going around to meet her fans, I'm like, why don't I just kind of put the two together?
Yeah.
You know, that way people can enjoy like your typical thing of a Comic-Con, and then your meet and greets of all the celebrities. But then all the celebrities you're meeting and getting autographs from, they're going in the boxing ring and fighting. So, and for 3 1-minute rounds. So I thought putting that together, and that's what we're working on. And we got 52 days left.
Yes, dude. So I've seen these before. I remember Damon coming on the Howard Stern show, and he was trying to put together, I forget what they were calling the guy, but it was like some guy who got angry in like a
bagel guy.
Bagel guy, yes. And he was trying to put a celebrity match with him, and then the guy like kind of, you know,
he played
the last minute, and he was basically doing it for promotion, it seemed like, the guy, and really messed up what Damon was putting on. So I hope that we don't get any of those momos on your upcoming event.
No, so right now we got a pretty good list. You can see right here. So of course, Tammy's hosting it, and she's hosting it with actually Andy Dick and Johnny Vinokur right there. He's Scott Bale's 40. You remember Scott Bale's? He had the TV show 45 and Single.
Yes.
He was Scott Bale's ultimate wingman and the American Vampire Story with Carmen Electra.
Yeah,
he was the main vampire in that movie. And then he played punk rock in Kids Power Hour with Shazam. Then we got one of the Black Panthers down here, Hassan Rashid. He was a King card. Everybody knows and loves The Christmas Story. They play every year. We got the guy who played the bully that people know and love, Zach Ward.
Yeah,
we got Ninja Turtles coming out. I've been on the phone literally with the legendary heavyweight champion of the world, Ray Mercer, the boxer who beat Tommy Morrison, and
wow,
and at that era,
and
so Ray wants
gun from Rocky V, right? Yeah.
And I was with his son the other day. So Tommy Morrison has a son named Kenzie Morrison, who looks just like him. You know, he's like Tommy Morrison 2.0. That guy's record is insane. He's got like 20 fights and 18 of them ended knockouts.
Nice.
You know, knocking everybody out. But so yeah, we're talking to Ray Mercer about being a special guest referee. We have I'm talking to EJ Snyder, the original people from Naked and Afraid that everybody knows. He's been on there like 6 times, Naked and Afraid.
Tommy, I got the best idea for you, dude. Tammy's not going to. You might, though.
What's that?
Pippi versus Annie.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah. No, I'll
tell you.
You know, that would be funny. That would be hilarious. If she would do it, though, I think she teaches acting in New Jersey. I think she's like a mom, and she teaches acting to kids in New Jersey.
That's so cool.
So in Tammy's words, she said she ain't ready for this. She's got to go stay at home with your kids.
Starting to call her out. Oh, boy.
I love
Stay at home with your kids. You ain't ready for this.
That's right. So Tami, you also got something cool that you're working on, I believe, for the following year, where you're going to do a re-release of the Pippi movie and bring it into theaters to kind of introduce it to the new generation. Am I correct?
Yeah. So we're going to be doing movie screenings where it's to celebrate the wrap up of the 35th anniversary of the movie of the New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, selling worldwide in 13 languages.
Wow.
So the thing that I think will be the coolest about it is that I have tons of people like 20s, 30s, 40s and above know the movie, but sometimes their kids don't know the movie. And as soon as they start to see who Pippi is, that she's a pirate, that she's the strongest girl in the world, she has a horse and a monkey, and you know, all these things they love in movies. And to the younger generations as well, and to celebrate the longevity and the success.
Yeah, so it's like it's coming to the end of the 35th anniversary of this movie playing worldwide, going into the 80th anniversary of the creation of Pippi Longstocking to do this tour. So Pippi was created 80 years ago in 1945. And so here we are in 2025. It'll be 80 years that movie's been playing, or the books and the movies and the TV shows have been, you know, around in this world forever.
Been in the world. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I have another movie. I don't know if he told you the one.
And when we filmed it, for my part, it was Being Pippi, but I think they may have changed the title to I Am Pippi. So I have a new movie coming out, a documentary, and it's in alignment with the 80th anniversary. That's what it's, and that's coming out in 2025.
So all this is together with the tour of the screening of Pippi Longstocking with the new documentary coming out, and so all this is in a line together for a great 2024 and 2025.
I love it. And we kind of spoke about that a little bit before the show, but it really is like once the new generation gets to see this and experience it, they're going to love it, because I have a little niece that, of course, was into all these newer movies and the new animations and some of the other live sketch movies. And then when we showed her Pippi Longstocking, she was like, oh, and became just a huge fan. So it's like, once you get this out and they see it, I'm sure it's the character and everything's going to blow back up again. So that's very exciting.
My granddaughter, and I know I'm pretty, and people don't realize I got a granddaughter when you look this good, you know.
Really?
My granddaughter, she's like, she'll go around all the time, and she's like, she'll tell all her friends, like, we'll take her swimming or whatever. We live on a lake, so we go out and she'll hang out. She like makes instant friends everywhere. And she'll just go up to them, some little 8-year-old kid. Do you know that's the real Pippi Longstocking? Now these little kids don't even know Pippi Longstocking. We know that, but she said, no, I'm real. That's the real one. And she's always pointing that out to all her friends that are like 7 or 8 years old. Now they have to learn out what it is.
Right. Well, you know what it is? It's kind of like the parents, like, why aren't they introducing them to all this stuff? Like, my parents showed me all the old Disney movies and stuff when I was growing up. So I blame them, not no.
Every time we do a Comic-Con and there's younger kids that come up and they just see her signing autographs. Mm-hmm. And I asked them, I said, oh, so y'all are fans of the movie Pippi Longstocking, you know? And like, we've never seen it. I said, oh, so your parents neglected you. And I look at their parents and I just stare at their parents. They're like, we saw it. I'm like, but your kids have it, you know? And then I try to put that guilt on the parents.
Yes.
So I do that every single time.
Spread the word.
That's it.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of this Miss Rachel? She's like a big YouTube star, and she like teaches kids like how to do ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and teach them the colors and stuff like that. It's huge. The only reason I know about it is because I have a nephew now. He's also my godson. He's about a year and I would say 8 weeks, somewhere around there. So a year and 2 months. But this is all he wants to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got bright colors on and they're, singing these songs. So it's like, I'm like, oh my goodness, can you watch something that is not making me want to like blow my brains out here? Because there's same stuff over and over, the same medleys. I'm like, put on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from back in the day, put on Pippi from back in the day, put on Home Alone. Like, don't be just stuck on this new age stuff that's just,
Yeah, that's why I said the 80s and the 90s was the best era, because like with her movie, for one, this era, and I'm not trying to get all crazy political, but this era, there's too much agenda and narratives on why they're pushing on everything. And there's, and they, to be right about things. With Pippi, it was just a movie that had no agenda. It's about a girl and adventures with her friends, and that was it, so that's why the 80s and 90s to me is the best. All this new stuff is,
very well said.
Everything's propagandized now. Yes.
Exactly.
Sucks.
It really does.
So
Tim,
we like the fact that we have the greatest era that people can revert to, and we want the kids of today to watch that stuff and actually learn to be a kid again,
Yes. Well said. So Tami, that leads me to kind of my next question about when you were working as a younger actress, model, all that stuff, because you're hearing a lot of shady stuff that happened to kids on set and all that stuff. So I was wondering, of course, if you want to, but did you ever feel any of this pressure or anything, like there was a predator or anything wacky that I'm kind of hearing about from all these child actors growing up?
Yeah, so I actually went to the soda pop clubs with Corey and Corey. And but at the time, when they were going off, with like older men, I had no idea. I was so young. I had no idea like what was going on. And for me, I was always very protected Ken
Good.
Anakin, the director of the movie, like Academy Award nominated Disney legend, Disney Lifetime Achievement Award. He and his wife, Pauline Anakin, a movie producer, they became like my second set of parents. The executive producer was super protective. Everybody was protective of me. So, and like when I hung out with like Punky Brewster, Soleil Moon Frye, and Jenny
Yeah.
Lewis, and like we went out dancing. Like we weren't, so I didn't sense a lot of that, but I did though on the world tour, because you saw what I was wearing, the little pink spandex dress in the German show. Nothing, that was actually the show I did with Sylvester Stallone, which is really cool. A side note.
Yes.
Um, but I had different publicists in each of the countries that I went to, which was 4 cities in Germany, Stockholm, Sweden for 2 weeks, and then Tokyo, Japan, and then all over the US. There were occasions where my publicist would come over because an older man would talk to me for too long and look at me in a way that made me uncomfortable. So they would come over and take me by the hand. Tami, we need you over here. And they would just walk me away from it.
Thank
So
God.
that, yeah.
Sorry. No, keep going. I was going to just say, thank God your publicist was doing that. And you also had the foresight. That's awesome.
He had a lot of
A
protection.
lot.
We actually talked about that, her and I, the other day. We're sitting in the kitchen, and we were actually talking about how she had a lot of protection of people around her, to kind of guide her and pull her, say, "Get over here," And
Right.
so she was shielded from everything.
Good. Because that was like my wondering, like when I'm watching like that Josh and Drake thing that just came out about, all the crazy shit going on Nickelodeon. I'm like, where were either the kids' parents while this was going on, or the guardian or publicist, whatever, that was supposed to be watching them at this time? Like, why were they able to be, taken and stuff done to? Like, so that's good that your publicist was there. You were protected. You were hanging out with people your age, going out. Like, your stories about Drew Barrymore at like 13 going to nightclubs doing cocaine. You're like, what the hell? How did that happen?
Yeah. No, I'm very lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very lucky. But that comes down to who, you and your parents surrounded yourself with while you were on the sets. Like that publicist having that watchful eye on you. And when something became uncomfortable, said, Tami, let's go over here. Like that's, you can't put a monetary value on that. That's like, priceless.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, that's
very grateful.
So what made you start going out back or going to these cons now and starting to meet the fans and stuff? Is this because of the releases that you got coming up and all this other stuff, or is it?
Yeah, it happened naturally. So I moved to Grand Lake, Oklahoma, which is where I live now, and I absolutely love it here.
Woo!
It's so beautiful. It's a water sports paradise. Like we're right near the lake. His mom has a house on the lake, so we go out boating, water skiing, like the whole deal. So when I moved here, and I was finally at a place where I wanted to set some roots, I started to get interest specifically from the Outsiders House Museum in Tulsa to do a movie screening for me, which was last June. And that is what kicked it all off. And it all just kind of manifested naturally.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, so we went. My friend owns a bunch of venues out here, and he's partnered up with y'all have seen the movie Outsiders. Everybody's seen the movie Outsiders. So they filmed that here in Tulsa. Well, Danny Boy O'Connor from House of Pain, he moved here to Tulsa, bought the house, gutted it out, and went almost identical to the movie to set it up. And now it's a museum, and everybody in the world literally flies here, comes to that museum. And so then they did the Outsiders movie on the lawn event. And then they invited us out. I talked to Donnie. We set up a thing with Danny Boy and Donnie. And so now she kicked off the movie on the lawn out there. Of course, the day it kicked off, it rained. So, that we were supposed to do that. So we did it inside the house, and which is pretty neat. So it's like almost like a family just watching a movie, on a big screen inside a house at the Outsiders house. So it was like totally a nostalgic moment for everybody. Then we started doing Comic-Cons. Right after that.
And each Comic-Con I went to, I met new people like Johnny Hung, who's one of the original Ninja Turtles. And then he introduced me to other people who booked me then for Comic-Cons. And it just started going.
Beautiful.
That I was on the scene.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
it's amazing how many of those cons there are now. It's actually really cool. I mean,
It's
so
really
nostalgic
fun.
and very cool.
Yeah, so and that's why I kind of created my, Celebrity Boxing Comic Con, which will be Celebrity Boxing TV pretty soon. But yeah, we created that because I want still that same feel for family fun end of it. But then I want the entertainment and the sports like thing and the pay-per-view type situation.
And do it of course not WWE style where it's set up and predetermined, but do it to where the guys that are going to fight or girls fighting, whatever, like really go at each other verbally and stuff before. And
I've told everybody. So what I've told everybody, I'm going to pretty soon get all my fighters, which I'm about to announce all my fighters. They have to go to my website, celebrityboxingcomiccon.com, which will soon in the next week or so be celebrityboxingtv.com. But they could go there and I'm going to announce the fighters and start posting them there. But they're all going to make videos, calling out the person I, matched them up with.
I love it.
And having fun. But they're really going to fight. There's nothing staged about it. They know it's 3 1-minute rounds. And so they're going to go at it for the fans and for, the televised part of it, because they want to enjoy it. But they also, if you're a man, sometimes you just want to get that stuff out. And sometimes it's just fun, when it's kind of in a controlled environment.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to do that. Hey, real fast, I want to tell everybody, go to my website, get a hat. Go pick up a Celebrity Boxing hat. And then as well, Tami, they can go to shoppippi.com and they can get these cool t-shirts, these awesome Pippi Longstocking shirts.
Like babies, kids, and then of course all the autograph stuff will be posted.
But she has babies and kids clothes. She don't sell babies and kids on there.
You have to determine that nowadays because
you have to let people know. It's like got babies and kids clothing. She don't have babies and kids on there.
Right.
It's not
so Tami, I was a big 8 Is Enough fan. What was it like to work with Dick Van Patten? Was he a nice guy? He seemed like he would be a super nice guy.
So nice. And in fact, he encouraged me to steal the scenes from him.
Oh, nice.
Because his character, the Glue Man, was so like jolly and unique and quirky. But yeah, so we spoke about that, and he's like, don't be nervous to steal the scenes from me. I want you to, which is totally different than working with Eileen Brennan. Eileen Brennan was amazing, incredibly professional, but she was just so focused that for a moment I was a little intimidated. Like, she's so serious. I don't want to do something and like offend her by being too out there, but it worked out really well with her because she was just so bitter and mean that me just being crazy along with her kind of like works.
The chemistry was there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I saw Dick Van Patten again. I saw him at the Playboy Mansion. He was friends with Hugh Hefner. So he was there for one of the Sunday movie nights, and he was, super. It was so nice to see him again.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm buying a mansion and naming it the OnlyFans mansion. I'm redoing the Playboy.
They should have one already.
You'd think they would.
The people who do that, the inventors are, how much they have.
Oh my God. Yeah, that company has so much money. It's ridiculous. They can buy like multi-mansions all over the world. Anyway, amazing.
Yeah, right. So Tami, I got to see your episode of Tim and Eric's awesome show that made me hysterical, was dying laughing. How did that come about? How did you end up on that show?
They requested me. They were casting the Pasta Bear wife, and they requested an audition with me. And so I went in and I read the scene for them. And then I got a call the following day. You got it. You're booked. So you got to go to the set and, bring this, bring that. And when I got there, I met Tim and Eric. And I didn't know a ton about them. But as I started working with them, I totally understood they met in college doing this like low budget, like comedy, but it's sometimes like gross comedy. So they have their own like niche. And so I loved working with them. It was super fun. And like it was especially all the sloppiness of the spaghetti on my face when I was eating it. The whole thing is like the pasta bear is a teddy bear that I get for Christmas. It has pasta in the middle of it. And this is like the hottest Christmas gift. So he throws it in the microwave and gets the gnats out and tears it apart and hunting knife and the whole deal. And so when I'm finally eating it, like we took many takes of it. No, more sloppy, like more of it.
And it wasn't Christmas. It was Crimbus, if I remember.
Crimbus.
Right.
It's like a whole different world with midgets and like elves and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, those guys are wild, man.
Yeah, they're
Their
wild.
comedy is just so quirky
And
and
also what
weird
was
but
kind of
funny.
cool, so I met Jeff Goldblum and
Mm.
so he was performing with his band, the Mildred Schnitzer Orchestra, which is his mom's name. And I went up to him and I said, so I am in the Tim and Eric Crimbus movie, and I heard you're doing the live tour in the US. And he said, oh, yeah. And so we talked about that a bit, but I thought it was so awesome for them to have such a huge following that they could actually do a live tour for a movie
Right.
release.
Wow. Yeah.
And pull Jeff Goldblum.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is legendary, man. I mean, I'm not saying this to be funny, but his commercials for the cell phone, those. Do you remember those? He put on the glasses, but like those were great. I mean, they were not his, the work you would know him for, but Jurassic Park, The Fly. I mean, that guy is like a chameleon when he acts. It's just great actor. His role on Friends was funny.
Yeah.
But so Tami, you were a UN ambassador in 1988.
Yes. I was the youngest United Nations ambassador for World Children's Day. I spoke to the delegates of over 100 countries.
Wow.
Yeah, I have.
And
Sorry,
like,
our dogs.
no, all good. We love dogs. I'm a big puppy lover. Chad loves dogs. Bobby doesn't so much like dogs. He's a cat person. No, I'm joking. He loves dogs. But so what did you feel like speaking to those big dignitaries? Did you feel like any pressure, or did you feel like they heard your voice when you were talking? How'd that go?
I was so incredibly honored to have been in the midst of the world tour. And I was, like the guest of the Princess of Japan, and then King Carl and Queen Sylvia in Sweden. And then, oh, Tami, they want you to become a UN ambassador. I knew what that was. And I thought, are you serious?
Wow.
So I was incredibly honored. My speech was called Have a Nice Day. And I talked about the hunger, education, and wartime issues that children face globally and what we collectively could do to help. And so it really opened, for me, it was amazing. And it opened the door for me doing charity ever since. I've said yes to every charity that's come to me. And fortunately, some of them have raised a lot of money because I've given speeches, raised awareness. But one that I worked with, Create Now, I designed clothing that was sold all over the world, Pippi inspired, not this design, but a bunch of other designs. And it was a collab with the Fine. That clothing was sold as far off as Russia and Japan and all like the US, all over Europe. So I raised a lot of money for that. But it was an honor to be the youngest UN ambassador for World Children's Day, but for it to lead to decades of humanitarian work is, so cool.
Very
really cool.
I'm trying to go find the plaque right now, and it made all the dogs.
It's in my office. Yeah.
Oh, we don't mind.
Plaque, yeah.
Yeah, that if it pops up, if the dog brings it out, bring it on the show so we can show them. Tami, you're making me feel real shitty about my 12-year-old self because I'm like, what were you doing at 12 years old, John? You knew nothing about the UN. You weren't an ambassador. Like, you had a lot of wherewithal, like knowing about the world, a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and it all seemed to like kind of roll right off your back. You handled it so well, and you're versed in all that. So I'm going to chalk that up to really good parenting, and then also just a little girl with a mind that kind of could go to these places that probably seemed, not so interesting to a young person like that. So
he was also the guest of royalty of the Princess of Japan and the King and Queen of Sweden. She done some cool things.
Yeah, I was the one dragging my parents through the agency door. When I was 5, I was discovered for a modeling job at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. And so since that time, I was like, I really want to become a model. So then my dad was in a VP in the beauty industry. And he thought, well, okay, maybe she can do this. Well, you have to get straight A's now. And I was pretty much an AB student. So I got my straight A's. Okay, can I do it now? Could I get an agent now? He hesitated, but finally there was an open call at Elite. And Michael Davis, the president of Victory Beauty Supply, went to my dad and said, there's an open call. And he said, if you don't bet the farm on this girl, you're making a mistake. And so that was the catalyst that he had my mom bring me And then they brought me into Eileen Stewart's office, who was the owner of that Office of Elite in Chicago, which also launched Cindy Crawford.
Hey now.
Wow.
Yes. And so she gave me a contract in a few, like 10 minutes. And I started working right away. My first booking was for People magazine. It was an ad for Texas Instruments computers. And it was just me, a little schoolgirl with my big Texas Instruments computers, computer doing my homework.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So a lot of it had to do with me having that, what is it called?
Drive,
force of nature type of, and a high performer.
Yeah. Because I had, like, as a kid, aspirations to do things or stuff, but they'd only last for a minute. They weren't like, let me dive in head first. So for you to do that at such a young age, like, I really applaud you for that. That's very cool. And
Thank
then
you.
for your parents to be smart enough to say, okay, here's an AB student, have her get straight A's, show us she's serious, and then let you go into that. Like, those are things that were written in the stars, and that's why you're here today, and that's why you got the role of Pippi. So I'm amazed and like, that's ecstatic that you got to do all that and experience. And now here we are again, bringing Pippi back to explore for the new world. And I'm sure, are you thinking about doing further acting? I know you still do modeling and stuff like that, and you got your clothing lines and stuff like that, but were you ever planning on, like, hopping back into the acting world full time or part time?
Well, yeah, it's inevitable that at some point, because I get scripts sent to me, and then the movie came to me, the Being Pippi movie, or I Am Pippi, that came to me. So when people want me, just like Tim and Eric, they tend to find me, and then things kind of manifest from there. And since I'm out all the time, once, twice, 3 times a month, flying all over the country, doing the meet and greets and the Comic-Cons and movie screenings and all the stuff, I think it's inevitable that I should do a few more movies before.
Yeah. So
Very
that's
cool.
so that's cool. So you're out there meeting these people, making those connections, and then you're letting everything come organically. So for those listening that would like to have the one and only Tami Erin in something that they're producing, as long as it's written well and all directed well and all that stuff, reach out. You guys now have her site, her Instagram. So
Peter Dante offered her a role recently.
who?
It was funny. Peter Dante, Grandma's Boy, Little Nicky. The guy that's always a stoner and all that.
Yes.
And stuff. And we went to go support one of my friends' Comic-Cons he puts on, and we saw Peter Dante there. We started talking to him, and he's like, Pippi, and he just looked up all at her, like, because he's sitting in his chair and all mesmerized, and
of course,
and I'm making a new movie, and I want to put you in it, and I want to have, and he was telling us, describing it like, well, it's going to take place in a bowling alley. I said, and I was joking around, I said, have her be an old lady spraying and cleaning out the shoes with a cigarette out of her mouth, and he said, yes, because she'll be playing opposite of Shaquille O'Neal. It's her boss. And I'm like, I'm joking around. And he really actually had a role for that.
wow,
And,
That's fucking hilarious.
yeah, so we'll see how that one goes.
I think that'd be cool for you, Tami, to do, like, more comedic stuff and, like, show that side of you. And, like, because, you have that cool, bubbly personality and stuff, but I could tell you got comedic chops in you, especially from that show you did with Tim and Eric. So
Tim and Eric, yeah.
yeah, it was cool to see. But and making people laugh, what's better than that? And making fun and making light of things to show people, like, we don't have to be that serious. We could joke about these things, and joke doesn't equal hate. You know what I'm saying? Laughs equal smiles and love. That's what it's all about. So I think you would be great in some comedic roles and like really make people go, oh my God, did Pippi just say that? Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely, Tommy, when this boxing stuff comes on again, we definitely want to have you guys back on and, discuss it, promote a little more the way we do it. Good. I'm sorry, Tami.
It's coming up Memorial Day weekend. In 52 days, it's Memorial Day weekend, May 24th to the 26th.
Yep.
Yes.
It'll be a 3-day event. Everybody's welcome to come visit too. They could come out, and if they're in the 4-state area of Northeast Oklahoma, which would be Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, if they're in that 4th state region, come out and see us on Memorial Day weekend. Or if not, the pay-per-view ticket sales will be available on my website. You can buy the tickets through there, so you can watch it anywhere. It'll be powered through Tixer.com. So basically, you'll go in there, buy your tickets. It'll air like on Roku and Apple TV. So
Cool.
you can find the Tixer app on there and then watch your event live.
Chad,
Nice.
maybe we'll have to do a companion episode where we have that playing on the side, and then we're just
Can do that.
commenting on the stuff while it's going on and
It'll
having
be fun. Absolutely.
fun.
Y'all should do your own on-air commentary. You know, as the fight's going on. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, body blow, body blow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So the way we do this, guys, is we always leave the audience wanting more from the guests, and I know they certainly want more from you guys. So we thank you guys for coming on. Tami,
Yes.
let them know, even though the links are posted, tell them one more time where they could get to your website and your Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, you guys can find me at TamiErin.com, and my store is shoppippi.com. And all of my socials are Tami Erin Official Pippi or Tami Erin Pippi.
So I'm getting
Perfect.
my Pippi shirt coming up. So I'll be at shoppippi.com shortly, and I'll be wearing it on the Gracious too. So get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy Parker, great to meet you, dude. Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for being partners with Tami. And it seems to have, like, you guys have a great relationship on both romance and business and all that stuff. It seems to be real symbiotic. So I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Dating a redhead has been great in my life. They are completely have souls.
Perfect. Tami, I know you're ready
Yes.
for him. Do yourself a favor.
Go back to the famous South Park episode.
South Park.
Yeah.
Your redheads have no souls.
Before you guys end the day, make sure you go look up Bruce Springsteen's Redheaded Woman. That goes for Tami and Tommy, but also the audience. It's a great song. It's a dirty song by Bruce, so just prepare your ears for that. But thank you guys. We'll talk again, and we'll be in.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Everybody grab a
Great
hat.
to see you guys.
Grab a
Everybody
hat.
Yeah,
get-
thank you
Tommy.
so much.
Yes,
Thanks for having us.
of course, our pleasure. The one and only Tami Erin, ladies and gentlemen, and Tommy Parker. That was awesome, dude. To get to talk
That was
to,
great.
right?
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that to be funny either. That's a national treasure right there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, she's a legend at this point. It's
Big
awesome,
time.
and it's great that they're having this whole resurgence of the Pippi thing. It's really cool that they started playing the old movies in the theaters, so you can go and watch, Jaws or whatever they're showing. Adventures of Pippi
Right.
Longstocking in the theater. Granted, it's really cool. I should take my kids to do, or my girls at least, to do that sometime.
That would be cool. So,
Yeah.
because I think she said over the phone that she's planning on, putting it in theaters, but she wants to do like limited releases with it and then go to the theater and be able to talk to the audience afterwards and stuff. So, and she said New Jersey. So if they're coming to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, that'd be a great time to do it. They get to talk to the original Pippi and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This nostalgic stuff that they're doing is really smart, and it's really like it's a feel good thing to kind of relive all these moments, and like they did with the Outsiders house, they
Yeah, that's freaking cool as hell. I didn't know about that.
right. What was I watching? It was something where they bought the Godfather house. I don't know if this was a movie, a documentary, but here's the scenario. Is they wanted to buy the original Godfather house that the Godfather was filmed in, the outside, the inside, and everything.
Right.
But it had been updated since the Godfather movie happened. So they wanted to gut it, bring it back to exactly how it looked like in the Godfather days, and then make it like a museum. People come in, check it out. So it seems like they did that with the Outsiders. And I think that's just a great idea. Like, who the heck wouldn't want to go into those places and relive those movies that they grew up on?
For sure. Really cool. Yeah, I gave a shout out to Bill. He sent me that Dick Van Patten question.
Go.
It's been so long since I saw that movie. I was like, what was she in with Dick Van Patten? He's like, he's like Pippi Longstocking. I was like, oh shit.
How funny.
Oopsie.
Bobby, we're going to get you on in 1 second, and then we're going to wrap it up. But I just wanted to talk to Chad about Hunter Biden and his trying to get his tax case dismissed All eight.
Oh man, I wish I would have known we could have talked politics.
Oh, Tommy, yes. I didn't realize you guys were still there. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't either. I didn't know I was live. I'm just sitting there talking to Tami.
Oh, dude. So, yeah, we totally could have talked politics, and we will for the next show. I don't want to isolate anybody's audience, so that's why we usually don't bring it up with the guests, but we talk about
Mute my mic. I didn't even know I was on. I'm sitting there just watching.
Oh, no worries, dude. All good in the hood.
All right, man. I'll bounce out.
Oh, we love you.
Take care.
So yeah, Chad. So and the judge saw that and threw out all and dismissed all of it and said, dude, are you crazy? You're definitely going to stand trial for this, and you're definitely going to be judged on the taxes you didn't pay. Like, where is this man's brain to think?
Well, it's in his fucking daddy's pocket. I mean, he gets, do whatever. So far, he has gotten to do whatever the fuck he wanted with no consequences.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
None. And it's finally, I mean, it's great to see someone finally holding his feet to the fire.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought this was all going to get swept under the rug and it would be forgotten about. But
I mean, it's still May. Who knows? But like, I think if Trump gets in, some shit might get done.
Right.
To these people, hopefully.
Well, here's my issue with the whole thing. I mean, there's so many issues, but if his last name was Trump, he would have stood trial for this shit a long time ago.
Well, he'd be in jail already.
Right. Awaiting trial.
Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely. If Hunter Biden was Donald Trump Jr., I mean, could you imagine the fucking circus of this?
No.
And if Donald Trump Jr. had done all this shit, I would call him a piece of shit too. But
right,
he hasn't done anything except for being a good son and a good businessman behind his father. But he gets no credit for that.
No,
Trump bad.
Well, that's what I got to say, too, just about the Trump family in general. Again, if you don't like President Donald Trump because of things he said and misogynist things he said, and, you're using that to judge him on his presidency because you actually can't look at policies because everything he did was great that way. So, but look at his family. Look at all of the kids he raised and how wholesome they are and how tight knit they are. Like, they're always together. The grandkids are there. His youngest kids are there. All the older kids, brothers and sisters. Like, it's a real family. You don't see the Bidens ever loving, and you don't see, President Biden talking so lovingly about his kids. Like, President Trump talks about his kids and how hard they work, how great they are all the time, dude. Like,
yeah.
So it's just, it's weird to me that people just.
Well, the left's been trying to destroy the nuclear family for fucking decades. So why would they want a good family in office? No, they don't want that. They want a dysfunctional fucking, dysfunctional family in office with the drug addict son.
Right.
Great. Okay. Sounds good. I mean, fucking Biden wouldn't even recognize one of his grandchildren forever.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, the girl that Hunter had with the stripper in wherever it was, somewhere in the Midwest, Biden wouldn't even recognize that innocent little girl as his granddaughter.
But damn well he'd sniff her hair.
Oh, he'd fucking definitely sniff her hair and fucking hug up on her. We know that. Whack-a-doodle.
Let me see who we have, because we have a bunch of great guests coming up. I just want to let the audience know who we have coming up next week. And Bobby, while I'm pulling this up, is there anything going on in Bobby's world that we wanted to talk about?
I think we have
Dean Blackwell. They're coming up next week, Chad.
Mr. Dean.
This is going to be a fun one.
Oh, dude. Wait till him and I get together. Dean is one of the funniest guys that's not a stand-up comedian that I fucking know, dude. He is really funny. You're going to enjoy it.
Your banter back and forth through those emails.
That was just a little taste of what we're
doing. I'm like, this is going to be great. So audience, get ready for that. You're going to hear two friends joking like friends do. So don't be offended by any of it. Just warning you as of now. So it'll be a fun episode. Bob A's, I heard you kind of coming off on there. Anything for you?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about one thing that was really bothering me, and I'm seeing a lot of it. There's a lot of fear mongering coming up about this eclipse that's coming up.
Oh yeah,
and it's really annoying the shit out of me because it's really not that big of a deal. Eclipses happen every year. It may be what 80 years since the last time this has happened. It's something that happens, all right? It's not something where you're going to get sucked up into the sky and the world is going to end. And I'm seeing some crazy shit online for real. Like people are going off the hook,
Oh yeah.
thinking that the world is seriously like something is seriously going to happen. I
Well,
guarantee.
yeah, some people are calling the end of days. Yeah, for sure.
I guarantee April 8th is going to come and go like any other fucking day.
Yeah.
Period. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, thank you for that. But I kind of hope maybe the world does end April 8th because I have to go to the dentist that day and I hate the dentist. So maybe it'll end before I got to get there. So bring it on, Eclipse.
Yeah.
I just hope everybody enjoys it.
Yes. Don't stare at the sun, people. Put on your blue blockers from back in the day because those will help your eyes. But I remember having eclipses at school in 4th grade, and we would go out and stare at them and stuff like that. So I don't know if this one's going to be any different. I highly doubt it. But like Bobby said, they fearmonger they want you to go out and stockpile shit and live underground and breathe and drink dirty water. Like, I don't know what they want, but they want something weird to happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to live in fear. I mean, I know things are not looking their best, but things will get better. It's just going to take time, and it's going to take the right people and going on the right track.
Yes.
I got a nice little tidbit of, news based relating back to Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
I just got a letter from the IRS. I owe money because he has failed to file the TLH taxes for 2 years, and they're now fining each partner a certain amount of money per month because of that. I'm like, oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Does this gentleman's deceit and ever end? Like, how long are you going to be uncovering this shit?
And Patrick, if you're watching, you got the same letter too, and you won't do anything about it. Just vote with me, and we can fucking take care of it all. But you won't do it.
And his silence is
stop the fucking madness. It's so ridiculous.
Right. The silence from Patrick is deafening. You know what I'm saying? And the little blurb that CT puts out about his alcoholism is a joke. Like, why are you just putting that out now when all this shit is coming? It's like, dude, be real with everybody. Be real with your fans. Be real with the people you grew up with and loved, and say, I don't know where I got lost along the way, but I fucked up. I'm sorry. This is all this shit that I did. We need to figure this out. Like, don't just fucking look for an excuse for the shit you did and try and sweep shit under the rug, because that's not how anything gets better, people. You gotta be sorry for the things you did. And that's when you yourself can heal. And then the people around you can forgive and maybe heal from there. But if you're just going to go from excuse to excuse and more shit's going to keep coming up, nothing's going to get better. Nothing's going to get better.
Nope.
So, Patrick, come on, dude. Silence is deafening. Get going, dude. Realize that this dude, I mean, Patrick, have you watched depositions by him, or have you read depositions by him where he throws you under the bus for shady business dealings that we know he did? Like, that's not a friend. That's not anybody that you want in your corner. So, again,
hey, well, he's not really in your corner. He tells you he is. Just as I always say, look at his actions. Don't listen to his words.
Right. Well said, Chad. And that's the thing that I wanted for President Trump too. Look at his actions in office and not his words. That's the biggest problem with, sometimes myself, but a lot of America, is we listen to these people like saying these things like his fight with Rosie O'Donnell, all the stuff, and we judge them by that. But those are just words. Sometimes you're saying things. Look at what the people do. That's really what matters. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. There's a reason for that, people. Words can hurt, but they're just words. Look at what they do. I could say I love this person and then fucking stab them in the back. Do I love that person? No, I stabbed them in the back. I'm a dick.
Exactly.
Yes. So there's the Gracious Two's little shindig for the day, our PSA, as we call it sometimes. And again, we are the Gracious Two, putting the shit in bullshit. Bobby, why don't you tell them where they could check out your socials? This way they could go check out your crazy stuff.
You can find me at MRHAZE000 on X, on Facebook, on
So it's
YouTube,
Mr.
pretty much.
H-A-Z-E.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere. It's MRHAZE000.
And
Look
check
that up, you'll find me.
again.
It's also my Gmail too.
Don't give them your Gmail. They'll be emailing you crazy stuff.
Hey.
The audience knows,
Yeah, whatever.
But tell them about your YouTube again and what's going on there. This way they can go check out all that stuff, the fun stuff.
Yeah, it's the same thing. MRHAZE000. You could check me out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My Instagram and X.
I'm sorry, Bobby. I meant Chad, not Bobby. Let the audience know your YouTube channel. I know they know it, but I always say it because there's a lot of good shit going on over there.
It's at Chad Gracie Live on YouTube. There you go.
Yes. So go there, everybody. And of course, we are the Gracious too. We shall see you next week. And good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.